All right, highlights are uploading right now. How we doing, ladies and gentlemen? How are we doing? Talk to me. Previously on Kimba TV. Sounds good. So 71 to 71.4 is the next level of interest, and it has been since last Thursday. I don't know if you were here earlier, Buds of Dank, but do you remember when I said if you're somebody that is going to be trading the short here, you're probably also playing this with a stop loss on a higher high. How we doing? Latuche, motherfucker, the math is the math. Anyone gonna try this? It's gonna be an interesting thing here. Let me make it pixel perfect. Oh, happy Wednesday. I gotta get caffeinated. Don't judge me right now. I gotta get caffeinated. I just woke up. Holy shit. Yeah, you got a little opportunity. We juice them, baby. All right, highlights from yesterday are up. I already talked about the little plan, yeah? It would just, I don't. Shout outs to everybody that's been here since the morning. I will do that. I'll just wake up and look at the charts and bling, bling, blow. You heard me? Time waits for no man. Make sure that you show up for the stream on time. Let's get it. I am Visp says, LOL, unbelievable. Brother, you remember when I was like, hey, it's too early to smoke weed? I might have to. I might have to. I might have to. Quit playing with me. Latuche, motherfucker, the math is the math. How many of y'all were here yesterday? How many of y'all were here yesterday? None of this is a surprise. Yes, you either know what you're doing or you don't. Talk to me, Lions. Lions, talk to me. So if you have that long,
You just said.
your stop loss is now in profit. You can't lose. It's a free roll. Are we good? What do you guys think? Do what the math says. Point blank. Do what the math says. Get nasty, ho. How we doing? How we doing, Lions? Easy money, Bugatti money. Look at that. Look at that. I am Visp says, why didn't you enter long yourself? I did, actually. So you know that I have 130 Bitcoin long from 57.2, right? I have 130. I have 25 here. I have 25 on the other MEXC, right? You know that I have like 85 on Kraken, right? But I also added probably 40 Bitcoin. Yeah. So, I mean, look, like I have 9 on this blowfin. Look at my entry. Look. Look at my entry and my stop loss. I'm doing it, baby. I have like 9 on this blowfin. I have 15 on another blowfin account. I probably added 40 Bitcoin. I am Visp. I mean, it's straight juice, baby. Yeah, today, Visp. Look, I took it. I added another 40. That I have 9 on this blowfin. I have 15 on TapBit. You know, look at the arrow. I got filled. Look where I got filled. Look where I got filled, motherfucker. I added another 40. Yeah. You know I'm trying to make $4 million this month, right? Testnet, bitch. It's got to be testnet. Game says, I already shaved just now as Sato's lick. It was more to understand whether it can come back into the range. Sure, absolutely. So first things first is what you would want to look at is where was the penetration level? What is previous resistance conceptually that you would want to turn into support? So I don't know if you've been here with me, but do you know we like to do stuff like this? We'll go this, this, and then we'll do this. And the most bullish thing that bulls could do is turn that zone into support. Okay? You can still lose that, okay? Because you're going to then come back to value. So it could come back to value area high. All right? It could come back into point of control. Okay? And then you're going to be doing Fibonacci. All right. So what do I always say? You need to make sure you have your value area high, value area low, point of control, identified for volume, TPO, and have mathematical levels. The areas, look at the TPO, point of control, volume, point of control, and golden pocket. Do you think that I'm going to shit myself or start crying if it does this? Nope. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be watching the data. I'm going to watch our shorts getting squeezed, our shorts opening, our longs getting squeezed, our longs opening. Is there an edge? Is there a hidden bull div? Is there an invalidation of a bear div? Etc., etc. Exclamation prepared. Sounds good, game? Gucci Magucci game?
You know, one thing my trainer, he told me, he said, what did he say? He just
what do you think about this?
Prepared.
What do you think about that, huh? What do you think about that? So anyways, do your best. Alrighty, do your best. I'm not here to predict, I don't know about you guys, but I'm not here to predict the future. I have levels identified and I'm going to look at the data as it's approaching that level to see if there's a bullish or a bearish edge. Sometimes I can identify the level perfectly, but the data shows me no edge, and so I don't really know if it's bullish or bearish, and that's okay too. All right. Okay, everybody, if you show up to the stream late, exclamation rewind. Okay, chances are if you're asking it now, one of your brothers and sisters asked it hours ago. All right. If you're thinking about a question right now or when you join the stream, chances are somebody asked hours ago. So exclamation rewind. Alrighty, the second thing that I would tell you is make sure that you guys have figured out your volume, value area high, value area low, point of control, TPO, value area high, value area low, point of control, mathematical levels, and see what overlaps. So, denial sinner. First thing in the morning, did you know that we talked about this? Okay, that we talked about what it would look like if it's a failed auction. Okay, and last but not least, if you do what I kind of say, volume, point of control, TPO, point of control, mathematical levels. So you don't want to be asking me about, do you think retesting 70,750 is possible? We've already talked about it. We went over the data that you would want to see. Okay? Anything is possible in this game. Anything is possible. It's your responsibility to know what you want to do. So you don't have to try and figure out what you want to do when you're actually there. All right? So I'm always thinking about worst case scenario. So if you're in a, did you know that I added another 40-ish Bitcoin, like 42 Bitcoin right there? I put my money where my mouth is. So as somebody that, you know, added a little bit here, I'm clearly going to be thinking about where my stop loss and profit would be. And somebody was actually talking about that. And so I said, you know exactly what your position size is. You know exactly what your entry is. So if you shave half here and half here, you know what your realized P&L is. If you get stopped out right here for the whole thing, you know what your P&L is. The only thing that you need to make sure is that you're good to go on this. And so if it does happen, you're not thinking to yourself, fuck. Prepare, plan, anticipate. Alrighty. Now, I gave you like a quick little regurgitation. Okay. You know, like when, like the baby birds are like, you know, when the baby birds are like, feed me, feed me, feed me. And the parent bird comes over and it just goes, bleh, bleh. Every time you guys ask me for a recap, that's what it is. It's not as good as the original organic thought process. So rewinding is always the best. I don't know what small details I may have forgotten to say right now that I said earlier.
He just told us to be prepared.
I don't know what small detail I said earlier that I forgot to say this time. And that small little detail might fuck you later on. So it's always best to rewind and get caught up. And I can't stress enough, brother, have your volume-based levels figured out, have your time-based levels figured out, get your Fibonacci mathematical confluence figured out, and that's how you anticipate a level. You still need to figure out, okay, if it does go down there, what does open interest need to look like? What does CVD need to look like? And if it goes down there and the data looks like what you thought it would and should look, then you can take it. It's that easy. But who gives a shit if it is going to come down here or not? Everyone should have a plan. Abdul, what's going on? Houston says divs and shit. I love it. Yeah, it's undeniable. You gotta, you know, we gotta be objective. So whether you're in a short and you're looking for TPs, whether you're looking for stop loss and profit on your longs, we're all looking at the same shit. Get nasty. 49 minutes and change, 50 minutes until traditional markets close. So we've already been hanging out for 6-7 hours. I think it's all right to hang out for another 50 more minutes. Futures will run for one more hour after that, and then it'll be Macaulay Culkin time. So, y'all ready to juice the fuck up? How we doing? Trinkum says, bear div versus bad high, who's gonna win? Yes, something that should help you. I don't know if you're doing it, but this is the 30-minute for CME. Yeah? Okay. And really, the question should be, what has it done in the past? Trinkum. And one more curveball, if I may, just to kind of get you prepared in case I'm at the gym. Does it make a difference if CME is paused, i.e. during Macaulay Culkin? whatever it does during Macaulay Culkin, is it believable? All right. So just kind of things there's no real like black and white definitive answer. But none of this hopefully is too surprising. Okay. Longers I'm rooting for you. Shorters I'm rooting for you. Like this doesn't really surprise me. Okay. And if you were here in the morning, you heard me talk about it. But since I was already thinking about this yesterday, look at that. Look at that. The third one broke that top one. The third one broke that top one. So this doesn't surprise me for it to come back to the point of control and TPO point of control. Doesn't surprise me. What would surprise me is support getting flipped into resistance. Yes? So for me, none of this is really surprising. We talked about the 3 drives yesterday. What was the data that we anticipated? Divs and shit. What is that? Yeah. So no surprises. And that's what I mean. I don't care if you shorted that. That's awesome if you did. I don't care if you longed that. That's awesome. I don't care if you did. We're all looking at the same shit, but no real surprises though. Easy to kind of plan and anticipate. Okay. Easy to plan and anticipate. Alrighty. Chab Superstar says, what about the OI? Here you go. Let me make it smaller for you. Here you go. All right. Unforgiven says, I'm sidelining because there isn't much of an OI support. Okay, that's okay. So this is what I would say, Unforgiven. I'm already bullish, right? I'm looking for hedge shorts, right? I can see divs and shit and structural edge, but I'm not going to rush into it. Do you, like, you've known me long enough. Do you think I really care about having a short entry from here or from here? I'm not really tripping. You know, if we're going to go back down here, I will gladly take that entry on the bearish retest instead of trying to get in on there while CME is going to leave a bad high up there. So I already have my plan on how I would want to hedge short. I can be hesitant or cautious or whatever because this doesn't surprise me one bit. You think this is surprising me one bit? This doesn't surprise me one bit. None of this is surprising. What would surprise me is fuck, we're going to rotate back down. And I'm ready to head short this bitch if we need to. Schwiggity. Longers I'm rooting for you. Shorters I'm rooting for you. All right. But I'm pretty sure Bitcoin is freedom that you're good at something, right? What are you good at? It might be an instrument. It could be a sport. It could be mixed martial arts. We're all good at something. And I think we all understand that for us to become that good, we spent a significant amount of time practicing, right? So, yeah, brother, it's all good. Robinacci, Dirty Pension. Good night, Dirty Pension. Have a great night. Shout outs to all the European. Oh, snap dizzle for shizzle. Snap dizzle for shizzle, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, wait, who Joe said? Talk to me. 32 minutes on the daily candle close. The for shizzle is the bizzle. Schwiggity. Talk to me, lions. Get nasty. Oh, it's going to be a wild week, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be a wild month, ladies and gentlemen. Schwiggity. Who be juicing? 30-minute candle close in 40 seconds, y'all. 30-minute candle close in 40 seconds. Talk to me. Useless lines, y'all. Talk to me. You already know what it is, right? Will it? Schwiggity. Will it tuck back in, ladies and gentlemen? Oh, get nasty. Get nasty. Get nasty. Get nasty. Some people, hold on a second. Some people are going to say 30-minute. Some people are going to say 1 hour. Some people are going to say that is not a swing fail. If it's not a swing fail, then it's a, let's get nasty. Exclamation KOJ, ladies and gentlemen. The weekly trading competitions are back. All right, let me throw y'all some free money. All right, I'm also going to try to give away at least $100,000 this week, next week. I might do it randomly. I might do it in 15 minutes. You never know. Exclamation Blowfin. Make sure that you're signed up on Blowfin and your UID is in the dashboard. All right. We gave away 30 G's last or 2 weeks ago. Bitcoin is freedom. It's nothing to a Bugatti boss. All right. Testnet. It's got to be Testnet. Got to be Testnet. Schwiggity. Exclamation Blowfin. It's on Blowfin. To a degree, LOL. Hey, that's good enough, brother. Well, I'm going to ask you a couple of quick questions in terms of what you're seeing and what you've been able to follow along and anticipate. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think some of the things that will throw off our subconscious bias, or let's say, for example, that we have a narrative like we're bullish or we're bearish, okay? And it's subconscious within us. A lot of the stuff that can happen that will throw us off or give us a lower rate of confidence is if we're surprised. I feel like one of the best ways to maintain that sort of confidence or the faith in your planning is that you're not surprised. And so for me, at least, the way that I do that is I think about all the worst case scenarios. Okay, so it's kind of like in high school when you would have debate class and the teacher wouldn't tell you until the day of the debate whether you were for it or against it. You know what I'm talking about? So most of the time, regardless of if you have a long or a short position, you should be able to be objectively identifying bearish and bullish edge. Just because you're in a long doesn't mean that that CVD bear div all of a sudden disappears. You have to be able to be like, okay, well, that fucker is there. And usually when that fucker is there, it's pretty, blank or whatever the conclusion would be. So that being said, Dirty Pensioner, you were here when we talked about the 3 drives, correct? We're going to have to work from the higher time frame down to the smaller, okay? So, okay, awesome. So you were aware of this and the divergence, okay, that we were anticipating. So the 3rd drive and the bearish divergence. You see that, right? So are you familiar with 1, 2, 3, 4? Are you familiar with Kimba Crown? So now that it has tapped the 75786, we're going to be watching the golden pocket and specifically the 786 up here. That could be a potential harmonic. Hopefully the harmonic is playing out and we're going to be able to make a higher high. But that's going to be very, very important right there. Now that we've had the reaction here. So depending on if you are bullish or bearish, there's going to be levels that you're going to have to look at. All right, let's switch over to ETH. You good with that? All right, so for ETH BTC, I am looking for this level to get turned into support. Okay, and that should have some sort of Fibonacci confluence. I've already talked about this so many times. I'm not gonna go over it too much in detail, but I'm looking for some sort of a bullish retest on ETH BTC. Until that happens, I'm not gonna get into an ETH long. That doesn't mean that ETH can't pump. But until I know ETH BTC is bullish, do you know that it makes more sense quantitatively to allocate more capital to Bitcoin than ETH? I'll say that again. Until ETH BTC becomes bullish, when ETH BTC becomes bullish, it's a clear sign that you should maybe allocate more capital to ETH. Because if Bitcoin dumps, ETH won't dump as hard. And if Bitcoin pumps, ETH is going to pump harder. So until I can get some sort of bullish retest on ETH BTC, I'm not going to get into an ETH USDT position. That is going to play a factor in when I'm actually doing the TA on the USDT pair. Dirty Pension. Dirty Pension, on the 4 hour, have you been able to follow along with me on the value area high, value area low, volume, and point of control for ETH? It's what I say every single day, right? Dirty Pension. I always tell you guys to identify value area high, value area low, point of control, do it for volume, do it for TPO, and then also look for Fibonacci levels. You with me? Okay, so you can clearly see what it's trying to do right now on the 4 hour candle, yes? So far, so good? Okay, your original question was quick fib. So the first one that I would do is this. That's the first one that I would do. You gooch. Do this on ETH, and I think you will figure out where the possible top could be. And so I don't think I have to say this, but you should already be looking for the deviation outside. So I would do something like this, and I would be like, that's the bottom. I'm going to go back to regular candles. This is the deviation. It had a 1,000, it had a 1,800 and let's just call it $2,000. Fuck it. $76.1 bet. I'm going to be looking for this kind of bullshit here. A failed auction in that zone. So pixel perfect, literally everything that we anticipated. 1, 2, 3. Down to the range deviation that we were talking about too. Pretty cool, right? So $200, $300, $400 deviation above the 71.4 divs. Right? Boom. 1, 2, 3, standard deviation, deviation above, and then you also had the triple bear div. Okay, so that's where we left off yesterday. So if you're in a short, that's okay. Is that a good high or a bad high on CME OVXX? It's a bad high, right? It's a bad high for CME. So higher likelihood that it's going to get swept. Alrighty. In the morning, we talked about this. We gave the long entry and the stop loss. Alrighty, so that is this. And that's this. Okay, so look at that. Bink, pixel perfect entry. Alrighty, and then I mean, I always do it, but there was a guy asking if I took it. I actually got filled on some blowfin right there, pixel perfect. Alrighty, and then during the day we talked about pullbacks to the TPO level, you know, and so that's the midday stuff. Alrighty, stop loss and profit. If this is a swing fail, you wouldn't lose blank. I bet a lot of people have already done this. And there are going to be elements of the trident in play, okay? Ideally, if you were looking for the trident, you break this high first, and then you do this. Then you're complete in terms of the range being set and then ready to break out. Alrighty. That's about it. Other than that, you know, like there's going to be a little bit of a friction to get back into that support zone. So that's pretty expected. Yeah, and then Boogammas was perfect today. It's not Boogammas. So we continued to monitor it, and it went from bink, bink, bink. So Boogammas were nice as well. OVXX is, what is your TP? 76.1. So it's always been there, brother. But we actually added a little bit more to the box earlier. But 76.1 to 78.1. 76 to 78. There is a potential head short to be had, maybe around the 73, 74 zone. Okay, but the biggest thing that I'm going to be looking at is the open interest. Okay, so let's refresh this and let me just show you what we're looking at. So I'm going to go to the 50 million volume candles and let me just zoom out for you. Okay, so you can clearly see when people started shorting, right? You can see when the open interest on net shorts is going up. It's that high right there. Okay. And so that, let's line it up on that high like this. Okay. So you have about 93 million just in Bybit shorts that are still open. The majority of them are in the red. They're trapped. So whether it's 73.4, whether it's 73.8, whether it's 74.5, whether it's 75,000, whether it's 76.1, whether it's 78.1, all right? The most important thing for me is the same thing that we always do, watching the open interest and then pre-anticipating the CVD. And what I mean by pre-anticipating is I'm getting filled even before the structure forms. There's two levels to the formation and then the confirmation, right? So that's it, man. You were here already. We've realized about 600K already live, got filled live, TP'd live, shaved live. Yeah. Did I say that I added? I had a bunch of, I have like one blowfin with 9 Bitcoin. I have another one with 11. I had TapBit. I added 15. Putting my money where my mouth is. So look at where I got filled. All right?